this could be our solution.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, people, when we were being linked with Sebastian Ernest, the Stuttgart manager, I said this could be the solution to our problems. Not necessarily the manager. We didn't get the manager. We got Enzo Maresca. I'm down. I'm cool. But I said Serhou Guirassy is a senior striker, late 20s, prolific season, could be affordable, could be the exact complementary striker to go with Nico Jackson. And if he's a bargain, which, by the way, the headlines are saying he is, you could still get your John Duran to go with Nico Jackson, who of course can play out wide as well. And get that senior striker, that senior man, Guirassy, who plays for Stuttgart, who will easily be able to probably double, triple his wages and feel comfortable about it. And have that senior guy. We're gonna talk about it today because he's in the news, and you can bet your buttocks I'm gonna show you some stats. Oh yes, I'm gonna show you some stats. So, strap yourselves in, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, like and subscribe. Only if you want to, but thank you for liking if you choose to do so. And if you choose to subscribe, hit the sweet bell, baby. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to show you the stats in just a moment, but before we do that, let's read an article here. I'm going to cite the Metro for this, because it's citing essentially Bild, which is where this story is coming from. Yeah, it's not just Chelsea, but we'll get into that. Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea are involved in a fierce battle to sign Serhou Guirassy this summer, and the striker is available for a bargain price. It has emerged. Guirassy enjoyed a prolific season in front of goal after joining Stuttgart on a permanent basis 12 months ago, netting, take a deep breath, everyone, wait for this, netting 30 times in 30 appearances to help the club finish second in the Bundesliga, only behind, of course, Xabi Alonso's undefeated Bayer Leverkusen, and more saliently, in front of German behemoth Bayern Munich. Only England captain Harry Kane bettered Guirassy's tally in Europe's top 5 leagues last season, and the 28-year-old's goal-scoring exploits have put him firmly on the radar of Premier League's elite clubs. To be honest, I'm surprised we didn't hear more about Guirassy. I was talking about him like weeks ago, but there wasn't any real links. Maybe because, I don't know, he's not a young talent. He's 28. Don't know when he's going to be turned 29. We might be able to see that in a moment. He's, I don't know, he's scoring in the Bundesliga. And as we know, scoring in the Bundesliga don't necessarily mean much unless your name's Erling Haaland. But still, bro, like, you know, according to German outlet Bild, Arsenal and Chelsea are in the race for Guirassy's signature as they search for attacking reinforcements, along with clubs like Milan and Borussia Dortmund. So only Chelsea are the only club out of all those clubs that aren't in the Champions League, including the club he's at now in Stuttgart, of course, finishing second. They've definitely qualified for the Champions League. But, you know, and the thing is, guys, you know, we talk about convincing Michael Olise, hopefully, to join Chelsea over Arsenal, and I think Bayern Munich are looking at him, who of course are in the Champions League. But at least with Olise, he's young, right? And he'll be like, well, I like the project, Chelsea project. You know, Guirassy's going on 29. He ain't waiting around for any projects. He probably wants to play in the Champions League, I guess. There's even a picture of him here wearing such sunglasses that says Champions League on it, which would indicate and imply that this guy's interested, if not excited, to be playing in the Champions League. So Man United have also been credited with a strong interest in Guirassy, as well as Bayern Munich. Unsurprisingly, Bayern Munich. If a player has a good season in the German league, there's just a natural current that's what flows towards Bayern Munich. All roads lead to Bavaria after a good season. Though the latter have abandoned their pursuit due to Kane's magnificent debut season. There you go, forgot about Kane. You know, and you don't need to be a backup striker, Guirassy. You can come to Chelsea and start for us. I'll allow it. And, like I said with Noni, like I said with other players, Nico can play in the Cups, he can play in the Conference League, he can come off the bench, he can start the odd game. There'll be plenty of minutes. The report claims that Guirassy is likely to move from Stuttgart ahead of the next campaign, and the Guinea international is available for a bargain price of 18 to 20 million euros. Brackets, this is the money I understand, 15 to 17 million pounds this summer. 15 million pounds. Let's just round it down for the headline. 15 million pounds. Incroyable. Guirassy knows a high-profile move would see him improve on his £2.5 million a year wages. Yeah, we'll sort you out, mate. Come see us. We'll sort you out. We'll sort you out, mate. However, Guirassy has 2 years remaining on his current contract, and the Stuttgart chairman Alexander Wöhler, speaking last month, played down the speculation that the club's star man could be on the move. He said this, quote, "It was already clear last summer that he was leaving. I already heard it in the winter where he said he's already signed in Germany. The fact is, he remains really comfortable. He is an undisputed leader for the first time in his career. He knows what he has in Sebastian Hoeneß and the coaching team. He can now also play Champions League. That's another argument. For many, it's clear that he is leaving. It's not clear for me at all, but we will sit down after the season." Pause. All true, firstly. This guy, right, who is he? Alex, it's the chairman, the Stuttgart chairman. Everything's true, mate. But the truth is, my guy, big man, this guy is 28, turning on 29, and he's got a big move with he can, double, triple his wages and go and play for a massive, I hate to say this word, but professional footballers are people who work in jobs. Like, I can't even say it. I was going to say brand institution, but like a big club. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, you look at the profile of the employer. Forgive me for lacking a bit of romanticism here. Oh no, but there's romance to wanting to go and play for a big club and the badge. But look, man, it's not a kid. He's not a 24-year-old that maybe wait one more season. A dude's he's just come off a scintillatingly hot season. Now is the time to strike. And imagine if he is 15 million quid. That is just nothing short of excellent. All right, so we're going to look at some stats and then do some comparison fun. So let's do that now. Let's find the screen first. Apologies for not having this prepared. There we go. So this is Understat. This is Guirassy. So he is 28, going on 29 in December. So he's got a little while. He, as you can see, he is elite at shooting, assisting, and aerials, which is good. We want more dominance in the box, if possible. What's really promising here, if you look at his heat map on the right-hand side, obviously a centre forward, but likes to occupy the left channel as well, which would mean if you do have, I don't know, say a Cole Palmer and Michael Elise on the pitch, the space that they like to occupy and swap, he isn't intruding in whatsoever. It's perfect, right? Right. He's a senior striker, of course. Like I said, it would be perfect to complement the young strikers that, in theory, would be Nico Jackson. And maybe even on top of that, John Duran. We'll have to see. I'm going to look at some stats now. So this is... Direct goal involvement, 1.26 per 90. That, quite frankly, is ridiculous. And he's not playing in the Dutch league or the Portuguese league. Look, Germany's got to be, top 3 leagues in the world? And again, he's Stuttgart. He's not playing for Bayern Munich. He's playing for Stuttgart, which is a little bit of a lesser fancied team. These are incredible numbers. 3.74 shots per game. Such a high volume of shots. And I've said it myself, Liverpool score a lot of goals because they take such a profound high volume of shots. Do that, do that. Let's just quickly look at advanced stats as well. I want to have a look at this. Oh my God. So yeah. Unsurprisingly, guys, he is in, let me be sure you can see properly. He is in the 99th percentile for expected goals and non-penalty goals. So he does take penalties, because if you look at the non-penalty numbers, they're slightly smaller than their expected goals. But he's still in the 99th percentile, the top 1% of all strikers in terms of expected goals generated. Non-penalty XG per shots, top 5%. and just elite numbers, just chance creation as well. 89th percentile, 92nd percentile, expected threat, I believe, over is, what is it again? Why can't that stay? Stay, god darn you! Expected offensive value added. Nerd stuff, but he's in the top 3% of that. Absolutely insane numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to quickly look at his X value page as well. There he is from his last season. Goal per 90, 1.13. Expected goals, shots per 90. It's shot. I mean, that looks really big, but the graph doesn't come out that far. His XG chain's very good. His key passes are strong as well. Just for fun, should we pick a good striker in the Premier League? Well, let's pick Haaland. I don't expect him to be as good as Haaland, but let's have a look. So Haaland's in the blue here, Guirassy. And yes, German League versus Premier League, a whole different ball game. They play different style. Germany's more transitional. The quality's not as good, but he's not playing for the behemoth of Man City. He's playing for Stuttgart, and yes, the football will be different. As you can see, Haaland is still an absolute monster in expected goals per 90, which is interesting. He underperformed his expected goals, Haaland, whereas Guirassy overperformed. So he's got more goals per 90, Guirassy. He's got a better XG build-up per 90. He's got a better XG chain per 90. Better key passes per 90. Better expected assists per 90. So his general expected creativity numbers are dominant over the Nordic baby eater Erling Haaland, although his actual assists slightly less. He takes slightly less shots, and his XG per 90 slightly less. But Haaland did underperform that last season. Let's talk about it, man. Look, what a player. It is a risk. It is a risk in the sense of this guy isn't necessarily going to improve. He is what he is. He's late 20s, but he's in form. He's a senior player, and you know, as the big head chief guy, Stuttgart was saying, he's a leader. That sounds good to me. A leader in the front line. And to be honest, man, I dig it. You know, and like I said, I spoke about him before. Whether he'll be, look, forgive me, I don't watch so much Stuttgart. Many of you guys will have. I didn't necessarily. I think he perhaps might be more transitional than what the new gaffer at Chelsea will play. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look a little bit closer and probably listen to some people more informed than I before I can generate a educated opinion on it. But I do like the look of him, and ultimately he could represent that kind of figure, of that age profile, of that low cost, and even like his wages, they'll be less than, you know, Victor Osimhen and places like that. I don't know. Exciting? The thing is, I'm going to say what I've said recently. I know lots of people, and I say myself as well, aren't overly enamoured with the sporting directors. But the truth is, they're all in on the project, and they've had some hits. I don't even think they've had that many misses since they've been together, the two co-sporting directors. But now we've invested into this, you've got to let them execute their plan, right? And if their plan thinks this works, then do it. But if they feel like it's just a sort of sense of opportunism because he's a bit cheap and, you know, he's a senior striker, then don't be forced into it. Because that's Chelsea of old, like dysfunctional Chelsea of old, of just like, oh, we might as well get him because he scored a lot of goals. You know, that's not worked for us often, you know. Neither is it for like Man United. This opportunism, like, why has no one been, really talking about Guirassy for a long time? You got to ask those questions as well. But I tell you what, man, a guy who scored 30 goals in 30 games in a top 5 league for £15 million, who suits that senior leadership profile that's been referenced, that does sound good to me. But I put it out to you guys. What do you think? Comment down below. Thank you for supporting the content as always. It does mean a lot to me. So thank you for liking and subscribing, commenting, and why not share if you're one of those guys. Appreciate that. And hopefully see you back here very, very soon. Much love and take care of yourselves. Peace.